Namaste, Jai Bharat. This is something what I heard just now. Though I don't like to speak about my nation's military achievements, military speculations, strategies. Maybe the whole world knows it, but I don't want to speak about it. Because from my end, nothing should go wrong. That is what I have been trained and I have been taught. So I wouldn't do that. But then, this of course, I wish to speak of because there's some other element connected in it of ethnicity, racism, etc., etc., etc. There is this news floating that Bharat is going to set up factories outside different nations, and Bharat is intending to set up a submarine making facility. I do not know if I can call it as a factory in South Africa. Here, South Africa is important. The narratives, I haven't gone there, though I have a student from there who studied there. This South Africa situation, there are still whites. It used to be Pretoria once upon a time, and there are still blacks. And the story, the narratives, what I happened to hear from South Africa is that, I do not know how true it is that the whites still carry colonial mindset against the blacks. And the blacks are, in spite of practiced, remember, university, the blacks are denied opportunities. It appears that the whites carry an impression that the blacks are not very intelligent, less intelligent. If this is the case, I have a question to ask. How did they ever get opportunities to demonstrate their innate abilities? I'm sure no. You first provide them the ability, the opportunities, teach them, and then you say whether they're intelligent or not. First you try to teach them. First you try to train them. And then you will be able to say whether they're intelligent or not. Not just like that. Don't speak a priori. Don't speak a priori that they are not good. They are not good for nothing. Your ancestors had made them slaves, bought them and sold them in marketplace like a commodity. Now, don't carry that attitude anymore, but that was inhuman. That was inhuman. Do you think the blacks are less human? Now this kind of attitude, I hear, is still there in some parts of somewhere in the world. There must be there, I do not know. I haven't directly experienced, frankly. Or it bounces off me, I don't understand. But look at Bharat. We have a tradition of treating everyone equally. We have a tradition of respecting everything, not only human, the entire nature itself, equally. We give respect and then we take respect. I just spoke about this some time back. Give respect and take respect. So Bharat is trying to set up factories, sensitive factories in South Africa. If the news is true, we trust them. We believe in their abilities. We know that they can perform. We are sure that they can perform. Otherwise, my nation would go and set up a factory there. US and China have set up factories all over the world, but they set up such factories which are more pollution creating, so they don't want to do it in the US. One criterion. Another, of course, may be cost effectiveness. But they will never make their sensitive factories in any other place. Let the US do the Foxtrot series of, I don't know what F-35 stands for, F whatever you can imagine, but so I call it as a Foxtrot. Phonetical alphabets, it is Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, and Foxtrot. And Delta. G for golf, H for hotel, etc. This is phonetical alphabets. We use it in the air defense. So the Foxtrot 35 or such series of their stealth kind of latest advantage, latest so-called mighty invincible and invisible aircraft. Will they set up such a factory elsewhere outside the US? Will they? You find the answer for yourselves. But we are setting up a sensitive factory. I did not know. The story says that it's to make submarines. If that's the case, we put heavy trust on South Africans. And why we put heavy trust on South Africans? All the blacks in Africa per se? Because we trust them. We trust them and we know that they trust us. Trust is always mutual respect. Trust begets mutual respect. Trust begets love, affection, relations, and belonging to one another. That's our culture, which you find in the African continent. They are a great Hamitic people. They have their own civilization, their own culture, which the Europeans failed to understand. So the Europeans' failure to understanding of the Sanskriti or the culture of Africa is not the mistake of Africa. It's a failure from their part. So Bharat is trying to put up some factories not only in South Africa, I do not know, maybe in wherever or the wisdom of our government wants, and they will do it. And whatever they do, they will do it properly. That is one thing I am sure of. And they will do it in the interest of my nation. That is where everyone respects this government. They are nationalists. They work for the nation. They don't work for themselves. That of course is the culture of Sangha, Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangha. They work for the nation. Because it's Pujanya Guruji who taught us Rashtraya Swaha Idam Namama. So that is where people belong to them. That is where, without any experience, there's a priori trust. There's a priori belonging. Nothing is required, we know that. So Bharat is trying to show that you belong to us and we belong to you. I can trust you, you trust me. I trust you, you trust me. And the trust is unconditional. And trust is actually a priori. So if the news that is floating is legitimate and authentic, it's a great thing. It's a great thing. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat and Jai Shri Ram.